All right. Welcome everybody to the Town of Waterboro Planning Board meeting for June 5th, 2024. Angela, can we start with roll call?
Rick Madruga.
Here.
James Farias.
Here.
Rebecca Higgins.
Here.
Diane Gray.
Here.
Stacy Walker.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. So the next item on the agenda is minutes from previous meetings, which we have none. Next item is public hearing, and we also do not have a public hearing tonight. So that leads us to old business, which is Joyce Barker, 628 Main Street, Waterboro, conditional use application. So Joyce, if you want to come up here, we'll start the discussion. So I guess we probably should document the fact that Mike is not here tonight. So we will proceed without him. So Michaela, I know there's a lot of documents here and emails, and maybe you can help with just a summary of what's been done up to this point, and then maybe we can take the discussion from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds great. So, the main thing that we needed coming out of our last planning board meeting with Joyce, the applicant, is a nutrient management plan because of the wellhead protection district, and that plan was communicated to us at the last board meeting that it had happened, but because the applicant and those who completed the plan were holding it confidential because it was through the state nutrient management planning program, which requires that such plans be confidential. We didn't have authoritative evidence at that point at the last board meeting that the plan had been done. So in some emails and coordination since then, we got the signature from the state of Maine folks that a nutrient management plan had been completed. So that was great. So that was kind of one of the two main things, because we needed confirmation that the plan was completed. We also needed to understand if the plan met Waterboro's ordinances, because it is obviously it's the local authority, and the local ask is that a nutrient management plan be done, and that the town knows that it has been done in a way that complies with the ordinances. And that is that second part, knowing whether it complies or not, is still unresolved up to this point, because we still have not been able to view the nutrient management plan. And we did have some back and forth with Mark Hedrick, who is the nutrient management program manager for the state and the one who confirmed that it was done, but he was not able to speak towards Waterboro's ordinances at all, and if it complied with those, which makes sense as he's not the planner, but for Waterboro. But we still do not have confirmation about the content that was included in the plan. So from my perspective, that is where we have left off up to this point.
Do you have anything to add, Jim?
Yep, I've included the copy of what a nutrient management plan needs to incorporate, and it does cover everything that you were concerned with. So it is in the plan, and it's been gone over. The only other thing that I knew that we were looking for was the size of the pasture, which I've already stated that I do have the fencing and that will be put up.
But Michaela, you feel there's more information that we need in order to comply with the zoning, correct?
Yes, I think it's great to hear that from Joyce's perspective, the nutrient management plan meets the town ordinances, but no one from the town can affirm or deny that. So that's where it puts me as the planner in the position of recommending that, you know, that the application is not complete and not, and doesn't meet the town standards if we're not able to move forward with that part of it. Because the town doesn't have the ability to confirm or deny.
What ordinances are you looking at?
The wellhead protection district standards for the
Right.
nutrient management plan.
But that there's so what is specifically is it that you're looking for?
Can pull up the list. It was in one of the emails, back to Mr.
Yeah, it states a nutrient management plan must be provided for all agricultural activities within the wellhead protection.
Right, and it has been, it's been verified through the state that it's been.
But it hasn't been provided to the town.
As far as I can find, there's absolutely no other way to do a nutrient management plan except through the state. So I don't understand, I've looked on the internet, I've asked Mark, there's nothing. This is the only way to do a nutrient management plan.
Is there a communication between the state and us in regards to them certifying to us that it meets our ordinance?
No, I asked for that and I was
Oh,
not,
they didn't.
I wasn't given that.
Yep.
That was the
That seemed
hope
to be,
that I had,
okay.
yeah.
So I did put in my letter too, that if you could give me a list of exactly what you need, that I would be happy to do that, and that was, Paul suggested I do that, and I didn't hear anything back. So if the specifics that you need, I could probably get it.
I believe one of them for sure is the question about the soil depth. And I know that's in here somewhere, so I can find that more specifically somewhere in one of these pages.
Chains, yeah.
And then a lot of it is knowing what the practices are going to be to ensure that the
I guess I don't
waste-
understand why a nutrient management plan would be requested if they're all confidential. Why is there one requested? I mean, it's been done is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But in the ordinance, it
Needs to be
specifies
provided.
provided.
Yeah.
So
So
why is it
We're at a,
confidential?
yeah, well, yeah.
I
I
can,
understand.
well, I can understand why it is, because they don't want Joy sharing that with other people in that zone so that they don't have to pay the same amount in order to get the same results. I get from their perspective why they want
Oh,
to be
they don't want
confidential.
your
because
report
it's-
shared?
They just told me
Exactly.
not to share it.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah, I think it's because it's
confidential
contract, I'm assuming you made an investment into getting the
Oh, yeah.
nutrient, yeah. So in
Okay.
other words, these
I didn't-
people.
I wasn't
Yeah,
here that last
they-
time,
They,
I'm sorry.
well, no, I don't think we really got into it, but my assumption is that it's a revenue stream for somebody and,
it costs-
and,
Yeah.
Oh,
It costs me
gotcha.
money to get the nutrient
Exactly,
management plan,
yeah.
it costs me money to pay for the soil scientist to come out. You know, it's costing me money.
yeah.
Okay.
What I'm assuming is that they didn't want, Joyce wasn't making the investment on behalf of other abutters around her. So in other words, their situation could be different and they don't want this reproduced in order to apply to others out there.
Yeah,
I'm
it's not
assuming that's a
meant to
big
be
part.
public
Yeah.
information.
Okay.
There is information that can be shared with the town that's not.
That maybe
Right.
not us, maybe Mike
Well,
or you?
Well, that's why I'm saying, if you can tell me exactly what you need, then I can have them verify that that's,
I think the issue is it's all, from the town's perspective, it's all hearsay, if it's them verifying it, like.
but it's
It's the state, right?
the state.
So what's our relationship with the state when that happens?
Well, you have jurisdiction, it's,
Right.
it doesn't, your ordinance doesn't ask for a state-approved nutrient management plan, it just asks for a nutrient management plan
To be
as a general
provided.
thing to be provided, and
Okay.
so.
Have you ever heard of one that's not a state? Can you tell me where I can find this information? Because every one that I have has to be, it has to be sent to the state to be approved.
I think it would have to.
They all do.
Right.
There is no other type of nutrient management plan. That's why they have a nutrient management department.
It's tricky, this is the first one I've come across, in Waterboro, and so I can only really speak to that.
So this letter from the state says that her NMP is valid, effective, but our ordinance is saying that we have to be provided with a copy. So that is, I'm just checking, is that the only thing that we're missing
Yeah.
here? Is
Yes.
that, okay.
I mean,
So this is not sufficient.
based on how the ordinance is now, but if there's an issue with the ordinance, that's a different issue.
Right.
And I'm,
Would there be a call to waive, do a waiver in
Or an
knowing there's a
addendum?
state plan?
Well, so what, I think what Michaela's saying is that in her opinion, the application isn't complete because her responsibility is
I get that.
to judge towards that. We
Yep.
make the decision though,
yes.
correct?
Yeah,
So if we're willing to create a conditional use
Mhm.
that overrides this zone, I think we need to remember we're setting precedent when we do that.
Yes, we do.
And I am not a fan of setting precedent for others when we have guidelines in place that have been written for a reason. And what will happen is then the next one comes, and how do you say that you exempt them from a rule every single time when they have evidence that we have exempted others from the rule?
I understand what you're saying, but on the other side of the coin, this is proof right here that it's been done. Personally, I would think, we're caught between a rock and a hard place here. What do you do?
Are
The
we the only
ordinance says we
town
need
that
it
has that
provided,
ordinance?
but
I mean, there's gotta be other
the state is
towns.
saying it's confidential. Somebody's gonna give. It's probably not gonna be the state.
I mean, I had to tell them it's wellhead protection too, they were looking into that, they were
Yeah.
looking into resource protection, they were looking
Yeah.
into the conservation, I mean, they had to have all that information.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't question that. I mean, I think this might be the best that we're gonna get. I think it's adequate, but like you said, there is a policy saying
Right.
it's gonna be provided.
And to
But
that,
have we
I
ever
don't
run into
know-
this in the past, Angela, with any other?
That's what I was saying.
No, so I mean,
Not since we've been
it's
here.
contradicting itself, really. You're asking for something that you can't have.
Well, speaking for me, if Joyce provided me with her NMP,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm reading.
Right.
I don't know what it's telling me, unless it says, in layman's terms, I mean, if it's numbers and all of this other stuff,
Yeah, wouldn't need
I
anything
think
to us anyway.
a lot of the reason they keep it confidential is because of that as well, because it can be interpreted differently.
Mm.
You may not know what you're looking at, but that was the impression that I had
Yeah.
gotten from it.
so if,
But I would imagine, wouldn't the state have to, how would the town have a different ordinance than what the state would for wellhead protection too? Isn't that like a state thing?
You would think it would.
I think there's probably some state pieces to it, but probably the town has some ability to probably make it more aggressive than what the state, I'm sure, so the state has to govern the whole state, right? And then you get in the municipality, and there may be some nuances in the town that you have to code towards, so
So
I would
what
assume they
if-
have a base
what if
piece of it, and then every
Mike
town
reviewed
probably
it?
customizes it
If
based on
she
their
agreed,
situation.
not
I
saying
would
she
just think
will,
that the nutrient management plan would
but-
cover the state is what I'm
I,
thinking.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to get around it.
well,
If you received a nutrient management plan, what would you do with it?
I mean, I would review it. I have an environmental science background, so
Mhm.
that helps.
Yeah,
But that's still not my specific area of expertise. So I do think it's a good point that like the state is reviewing it, they're experts reviewing it.
right.
It could be, a waiver for this, and then we rewrite the ordinance, so that way this issue doesn't come up
Right,
again.
right,
Again.
right,
yeah.
Because,
Wow.
yeah, because as you said, like, my priority was just like, what does the ordinance say? That's the
Exactly.
guidance I'm
Right,
I'm
right,
providing.
yeah.
But if we feel like the ordinance is making this issue something that it doesn't need to be, then we can,
I think we need adequate proof that it is in place, and I think this letter right here, as long as it's been, Mike's probably confirmed it, that it's in place.
Right.
yeah.
I think the
And,
state has done their job, and I think us as a board can say, okay, the state did their thing, we have proof that it's been done. done. I think that's really what we really need to, that's the goal here.
And in our conditional approval, we can state no more livestock on the lot, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that no more than what's already there today, and then we don't have any more risk associated with it. I mean, if they've done the nutrient management plan based on what they know is there today, right? And you must have had to tell them, this is my herd,
Right, and they
flock,
went over the
whatever.
whole thing with the husbandry as well.
Sure.
All the babies, actually, they're
Yeah.
already sold, they're
Okay.
just not gone yet, but they're.
So I think that if they've done a nutrient management plan, and we put a condition on this to say that there can be no additional livestock on this property, then we know that there isn't gonna be any more damage. I mean, in the reality of things, 8 dwarf goats is no different than a herd of 20 deer that hang out in the same spot every day on this plot of land. I mean, most
Who's
likely, right?
regulating them?
Yeah.
Exactly, so, I mean, I think as long as we don't have 20 head of cattle in here, then we're okay. I think that I'm okay with approving this under the idea that we review the zone, we review the ordinance to ensure that we have better direction if this comes up again. And I'd be okay with it as long as we don't add any more livestock.
And it's only 6.
6, okay. We're downsizing already, see, it's even better than that.
That's all we need.
How
I'd argue you don't
often
need
do
6,
they
but-
come back, Joyce? Do they
If we
come
didn't
back?
If we didn't have this,
yearly?
I would be
Right.
hesitant.
I
Right,
believe it's every 5 years.
But I
Every
think,
5 years?
That's-
Yeah, but they
Okay.
can stop in at any time.
Right.
they're monitoring it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, this is
Okay.
not
That's
something
the
that
goal.
goes in the books and,
I don't think we're
and
gonna
at the end of the
state-
day, Mike wouldn't even be monitoring this nutrient management plan, right? The state would be the one in charge of that.
Yeah, they have to come back out and I have to get it redone.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I think what you mentioned
Yeah,
I think it's fair, makes sense.
yeah. I mean, because if anybody else in the zone were to come forward with anything else, we'd have to go through the same process, we'd have to know what they had. We're not doing something here, and I think, like I said, as long as we're not leaving it open for additional livestock to be placed there, then I think,
right.
Yeah, and I think revisiting the ordinance is the right thing to do,
Yeah.
because my concern with the precedent
The wording.
is,
Yeah.
someone else comes in and just wants to put a farm up, and they have however many cattle or whatever.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, that's the wellhead, we really don't
Right,
want
right.
every property in the wellhead to be at the maximum,
right,
to impact the water, so.
right.
But at the same time, we're not giving her a pass. She's done everything she's
Right,
supposed to.
yeah, she
Right.
does,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's, we're not giving her a pass, it's just,
No, she's
We're just
gone
not
through the
seeing
steps
the
we asked, we're just-
NMP. I don't know how to read one anyway.
I don't think we would really need to, I mean, need to see
Well,
it. We just
yeah.
need to know that it's been done, and that this states that it's been done. So I would think.
Is there any wording we should put in there in regard, does the renewal of this automatically come with it? Meaning, this would have to be reviewed, is that part of this, this piece of it? In other words, as long as she has livestock, is the state gonna require her to redo this? Or do
Yeah.
we need to put a condition in here that says this plan needs to be renewed every?
I believe the state requires,
Would it be in our best interest to include something there as well as a secondary protection to ensure that this management plan stays in place? Or would that mean nothing if we put it in there?
I mean, you could say, the state management plan needs to be followed
Okay.
and kept up with,
Yeah.
but trying to put 2 different regulations, I think, gets us back into the tricky
Yeah,
spot
exactly,
Yes.
right,
that we
yeah,
started with.
okay, yeah. Right, because then we're trying to oversee their jurisdiction at that point, right, okay.
And I'm sure that if somebody drove by and saw something, he had a cattle on the property, they could call the state, and the state would come and verify. So, I mean, it's not like there's no recourse in regards to if we see something, say something, so to speak.
Yeah,
So that's good.
I mean,
So that you would do that.
So where are you
As
at
a
now,
devil's advocate
Joyce?
here.
So how many animals
Basic-
total do you have now?
I have 6 goats and 8 chickens, 1 rooster, which the rooster is on his way out.
Is he?
He's just not very nice.
That's
You
usually
don't
how
want
it
to
happens. They just behave themselves.
Yeah, I think that's minor, really,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
So at this point, I think we've done the public hearing, right? We don't need to do another one, right, based on all these findings?
No.
correct?
You're good.
So I think now we just need a motion to approve the conditional use with our conditions, which I would say include no additional livestock than what is there effective today. Or effective the date of the nutrient management plan, or the date of this letter, so May 15th. I think we should stay consistent with that.
And then to follow.
And follow the state nutrient management.
Now, is there gonna be something in there regarding the husbandry as well, because I have to breed them once a year to get the milk?
You,
That was in your original,
It
Yeah.
was
that said that you would have them temporarily until you,
8 weeks.
but they won't be, would infants be pastured though?
No, not really.
Not right, really, right? I
No.
mean, you'd contain those with you'd contain them and then
Right.
sell them, right? They wouldn't be pastured.
And like I said, all the ones that have come this year, they're waiting to go, they're all sold right now.
Okay.
And I won't be breeding all of them again. Only 2 at a time.
that's a lot.
So with that being said, do we need a condition for that, or is it not necessary because?
Well, you're limiting it to 6, so no matter,
Right.
Yeah.
I don't wanna, if we're limiting it to 6, wouldn't that include your husbandry numbers, all of that? If we regulated her to just saying we agreed to that May 15th plan, or when that letter
Mhm.
came, May 15th, would that be good enough?
We could say with the
6
understanding
adults.
that they're, you know,
No additional livestock, or no additional
no additional
I just wanna
livestock.
make sure it covers it.
cute little goats?
Yeah, cute.
6 full-time adults and.
Yeah,
and-
6 permanent residents, potential for
They
temporary.
usually only have twins, and the one I got rid of had 5. I was like, thank you.
What?
Wow.
5 babies?
I'm like,
Do you
thank you.
have photos, Joyce? I wanna see pictures.
Yeah, maybe 6 full-time adults and the temporary husbandry-related babies or something. I'm
Something
sorry.
that covers them. I mean, they're gonna be sold.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe we say, so 6 adult, whatever we want to call them, dwarf goats, whatever, if we want to get that specific, and then, as well as allowing, husbandry practices, maybe? I don't
Not
know.
exceeding her limit?
Not exceed, yeah, that way I can sell them.
Not exceeding the limit of adults on the premise,
Okay.
so, mature, maybe we shouldn't say adults, mature.
And if they
Like
have
a word
5
in the
again?
animal world.
Oh, very
I haven't had any that high.
Maturity. If they can breathe, they must leave.
Hold it out.
8 weeks is all I'm keeping on that day.
And evicted.
Oh, goodness.
Get all that, Angela? It's simple, right?
No additional livestock as of the date of May 15th, 2024, as,
Per the letter from the state, right?
Yeah.
no additional livestock. I don't know how you guys wanna word that.
So maybe we
What are
say.
baby goats called? Kids?
Kids.
Yeah, kids.
Kids will be sold. I love that one.
Yeah, kids to be sold. Maybe allowable livestock to include 6 mature dwarf goats as well as infants during the husbandry process?
That sounds
Can
good.
we just say 6 goats, because, I mean,
Yeah,
if I'm gonna
whatever.
keep a baby, I would sell an adult, so.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Which is actually what I'm
Alright.
doing this year, I'm gonna
Okay.
keep 2 of the babies, and I'm
Okay.
getting rid of the.
6
6.
adult breeding goats
6
Six
goats.
Six adult goats.
with the allowance of periodic, what'd you say?
Husbandry
Husbandry.
activity.
She's right
We gotta spit this back out at you.
Husbandry activity.
I'm a one and done, I don't remember what I said.
I
after I
could
said
go
that.
back,
It's
I
all
never have
lies.
to go back into
Periodic.
the video.
Husbandry allowed with sale. I wish I had my laptop. It'd be so
I know,
easy with writing.
yeah.
Alright, 6 adult goats.
She doesn't want adult, because she might
Just
keep
6
babies.
goats.
Yeah.
So 6
Six
goats.
goats.
Six
Six
goats.
primary goats.
Yeah.
Six.
Yeah.
Primary goats.
Six permanent?
Primary goats.
Allowing periodic breeding, I like the word breeding, periodic breeding with the
I-
understanding that.
I think we should say husbandry, because that
Husbandry.
defines the,
with-
The activity.
until, while they're there, correct?
Right.
Yeah. If we just say
Alright,
breeding, that's.
Six goats, allowing husbandry.
Is it annual that you do that, annually?
No, actually, I'm gonna be doing 2, like, twice a year, just 2 at a time, so that I can continuously have them.
Got it.
Yeah, with 2 annual husbandry, with the allowance of 2 husbandry practices? Is that a practice? I don't know what it is.
Cycle?
Cycle?
Cycles.
Yeah, do you wanna say 2 because
Yeah.
accidents happen? Saying.
I don't have
Okay.
any males.
No.
Okay,
the
good, all right,
accidents
good.
don't-
They're not gonna happen at
It's
your
not an
place.
accident.
All right, 6 goats, no,
It's a whole
no
other
goats
ordinance
are-
we're gonna have to create.
Six
Mystery
goats
goat, it appears.
allowing 2
I never thought goats would be so
I
complicated.
know, they're too cute.
2 husbandry cycles.
Yeah, per year. Or,
husbandry
yeah,
Yeah, twice a year,
Great.
cycles per year.
2 at a time.
And Stacy gets to make the motion.
Holy
And then
crap.
pass the paper
All
on
right.
for someone else to make it.
Right, I'll be here forever, making sure it's written perfectly. So, did you want to write anything in regards to ensuring the sale of those? Or just saying that
no, there'd only
No.
be 6
we're
permanent.
gonna be,
Yeah.
she's gonna be maintaining 6 goats.
Mhm,
However, we will allow 2 husbandry periods a year.
mhm.
That's it.
And the
No
state
increase in.
Yep, and
Oh, yeah.
as well as.
Those are the other piece.
Yeah.
Okay, got that.
I got that one. Follow state nutrition plan,
Yep.
and then the goats.
Mhm. Ready?
That's good.
Stacy, got a motion?
You started off.
Okay, I need a motion.
You need a motion, okay. I make a motion to approve, what is this called? This conditional use application with the condition that the state nutrient plan is followed, and you will be maintaining 6 goats, allowing 2 husbandry cycles per year.
I second it.
All right. Seconded, all those in favor?
Whoa, 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 I got one more condition,
Oh, whoa, whoa.
that we need to review the ordinance.
Oh, that's on the
That's
condition.
That's the motion.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I had that in
All
my
those
thoughts.
in
All
favor?
right, all right.
So, yeah.
We're good.
Look at the existing.
Goats kept you guys busy for a while, didn't they?
Yes, you did.
Thank you for bearing with me.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Good
for
luck
your
on
patience.
Thank you.
So, how about on the next agenda, we put, while this is all fresh, that we review?
Is
Yes.
there, should we look at any other ordinance that we might have a state contention with?
Like, totally other ordinance?
Yeah, I'm thinking if there's one, there's probably a couple others.
We won't know until we come across.
Right.
I was gonna say, who's
Alright.
gonna review those?
Yeah,
James.
So,
I could, get back to you.
Yeah.
we'll give you 12 months.
He's gonna run a search on the PDF of the word state, and then he's gonna report back the results.
There you go.
Are you a lawyer?
I could be.
Nice one on TV.
I play
Nice
one,
on TV.
exactly.
Yes.
So
That's
for
cool.
the ordinance piece, do we do that during the workshop?
Yeah, we probably
Oh,
start
okay.
workshop, yeah.
Yes. I don't know, I am fairly busy right now. So I don't know if I'll have a full draft in 2 weeks, but I can definitely do some digging and looking around and some investigation, if not a full draft. Or if I bring a full draft, it might be like finished, a half hour before the meeting, and so we're reviewing it together.
Yeah.
I wonder what other towns have specific to this.
Yes,
To the
I do
webheads,
too.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying,
I also.
You've got a good
wonder that.
database,
So
right?
look at that.
yeah.
Oh, the
maybe
best
check some
database
towns.
is Lee J.
Well, she's
Well,
leaving.
she is
Well,
Lee J.
Well, you are Lee
Yeah.
J,
Lee
but.
J is
gone.
Lee J.
Oh, he's gone?
He's gone. He works for Kennybuck now.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's.
But
Made it
the
sound
same
like it was
company, so
temporary.
she has access to the same
You can know
information.
Oh,
It doesn't absolutely have to be done in 2 weeks, so if you're
so.
out straight, I'm
Right.
sure we can put it later this summer.
And let's
We
hope
need to give Michaela
that we don't have
a
anybody
breather.
coming in
Right.
Yeah.
in 2 weeks
She
asking
needs
the
a little
same
bit of
thing.
breathing room.
It's not because of you guys, though.
No.
So, okay, yeah, so why don't we have a deliverable date maybe for, maybe the first meeting in August?
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we've got 5 applications that this is gonna come up against it, but I wanna make sure we address it while it's
Yeah,
fresh,
this
you know what I
year,
mean? But,
And you, yeah.
yeah. So then the next,
If you
you
have it
know,
before, great, but that's ample time.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
If it's not till August, are there other sections that you guys have concerns about that you want rewritten for
I
any
think we'd
reason?
have to take a.
Yeah, I
real
don't
good
think
look
we've,
into
that,
it.
maybe that's what we could do.
Yeah, so Diane, yep, in 2 weeks, can
Yeah,
Can
for
you-
2 weeks. Now you've got the 2-week deadline,
Wow.
just off the table.
you Control F on
Yeah.
the state's
Yeah.
website?
Now one.
So much fun.
There might be some LD 2003 additional changes because a community that had a pretty progressive approach to LD 2003, the state came back and said, no, this isn't good enough.
Huh.
And so, we're not quite sure where that's gonna land.
So what
but-
did they do? What was their plan?
They allowed, they didn't do the you must double your acreage in order to add a new unit thing that a lot of the small towns are doing. And so that's kind of the big concern, because they did okay, yeah, if you have a 1 acre zone and you have 1 unit on it, now you can have 2 units on it,
Mhm.
no problem. And
Increasing.
yeah, most other communities have said, well, you also have to increase lot size. And then they had something about like the timing that was off. I don't remember it specifically, but I just know that there have been some issues flagged that
So the
I'm
state
just putting.
didn't
out
like
there.
the one that didn't add the additional acres, or they have problems with the one that have required the additional acres?
They didn't like that one, even though it was more permissive than most others.
Than
I've
most,
seen.
wow.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So they feel that that's still too conservative?
Yes.
Wow.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because doesn't it state that zoning, that you can have to, as long as you abide by the zoning, correct? Like setbacks and things like
Yeah.
that, so that leads me to believe that they're like, no, just kidding about that part. Do what you want. Wow,
I
interesting.
don't know, I mean, I think it's gonna be a legal battle, so it'll be.
At some point, right?
It'll be
Yeah.
determined, but,
There are also ordinances getting kicked back by the state.
Are they?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten a full warning on that ours may get kicked back.
Ours
For
might.
Waterboro?
On our ordinance
That
or
was so
on
much fun doing
an
it, too.
application, just the
The
ordinance?
ordinance, because we didn't allow 190 square feet, we bumped it up to 400 square feet.
Yes, that was the ADU one.
ADU.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
That we what?
Oh, so our minimum requirement, yeah.
should-
Yeah.
190 is like a camper for crying out loud.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So if you bumped it up, so like, there was, I don't wanna say a grant, but a reimbursement for all the LD 2003 and accessory dwelling unit work to reimburse towns. You could either get 5,000 or 10,000.
Mhm.
Well, those that their minimum requirement was greater than 400, greater than 190 square feet, the state said no, and they made them reimburse
Oh,
send back the money, or you have to go back in and change your ordinance to allow an
Like buying
ADU
votes.
of 190 square feet.
We were just trying to avoid the tiny house thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
didn't want.
And we were encouraged to
exactly.
do that by Lee J.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It came as a
it was-
surprise.
it was written in a very confusing way, because it basically is a double negative about not being less permissive or something, not being more restrictive is how the state legislation
Yeah.
reads, and so it makes it very confusing as to if you can be bigger than 190 or smaller than 190 for the minimum size. It doesn't, it wasn't clearly written, so I think some people interpreted it as you can make it bigger, and others interpret it as you can't make it any smaller than 190.
Okay.
You gotta
And so
love
there was that
legalese.
difference.
Yeah.
How they write it.
That's not great.
We'll just put this out there and then we'll control it in the way that we want to do it.
Thank you for all your work and
Yeah.
time wasted.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's a nice try, appreciate the effort, but this is how you're gonna do it, yeah.
Well, maybe just keep in the back of your mind, if there are any ordinances that you need work on, you
Okay.
can
Yeah.
start looking.
Okay.
But the LD 2003 stuff has been interesting, so we may have to revisit that eventually, but.
We can add that.
We did receive the reimbursement, just so, we're probably gonna have to review the 100 square feet.
Don't spend it too quick.
So I'm assuming they're sending them back with the reasoning why, so if it's other than that, we'll know exactly why.
They're just gonna say, nope, try again.
Yeah,
Confidential.
yeah, confidential, that's
State
it, it's from the state plan.
Oh, gosh.
All right, well, I guess that takes care of old business. So the next is new business, which we don't have. Communication, we got nothing, right? Well, I guess we kind of
just kind of
communicated.
did, yeah, sorry.
Miscellaneous, we hit that already. So I guess that just leaves adjournment, so.
Oh, wait, let me write that down. What do
Yeah,
you
we
want?
write it down. So if we're prepared to do so, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Second that motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?